Are we prepared for the last countdown XRP? I nearly fell victim to a fraud. One of the wildest weeks in the cryptocurrency market is the CPI week, which is currently underway. Hi there, lovely individuals. Peepo Coin Channel. I want to begin by issuing the weekly caution that cryptocurrency investing is dangerous, as we do every Monday. A rug pull bankruptcy can literally cost you all of your money. Never invest more than you can afford to lose, whether it's a smart contract hack, Mark Wallet hack, or simply a terrible currency falling to zero. I replied, I'll include it in the title. I nearly fell victim to fraud. For this weekly warning, it's excellent. It's time for me to tell you the narrative. About a week ago, I transferred money to an exchange, preparing for any potential outcomes from a wallet to an exchange. And I was thinking yesterday, well, maybe I should do some more. I gave the wallet a look. In order to recall the last time I sent money, I was reviewing the transactions. 10 crypto, I say. I remarked. Wait a minute, when I immediately noticed these strange transactions. Those transactions were not mine. Upon examining the transactions, I discovered that they were indeed transactions. By the way, this was on an Ethereum network, and the transactions were for a cent or a tenth of a cent, and I obviously did not make them. It was approximately a year ago that I alerted you to the existence of this hack. The address was different in the center, but it was the same at the beginning and the end as the one I had submitted to the exchange. Many folks will just review their most recent transaction, copy it, and send it to the same location again. Please don't do it. Naturally, I check that as I am aware of this technique. I usually make sure that the entire string, the hexadecimal string, is where I'm going, but you can also use a QR code to scan it at some locations. Just exercise extreme caution. The number of frauds and possible hacks is increasing. Ethereum is rising, Bitcoin is approaching its all-time high once more, and XRP is trembling and shifting. There are a lot of risks out there at the moment. All right, so we will discuss some of the positive, negative, and ugly aspects of this video. On this channel, such as the norm. Right now, I'll tell you about the potential for both a run-up and a retreat. Correct? This week, a variety of factors will be introduced. Therefore, all I want is that you smile at me in order to radiate positive energy. Since likes are free on Sunday Funday, Smashitty hits the like button. I sounded a little like a 13-year-old boy when I spoke. Let's get started. As of right now, XRP is attempting to break through the trend line. I kept waiting. We may be on the verge of breaking through this trend line at 332, up 4.5% for the day. Indeed, it is somewhat lower than it was at 337, but we made a strong recovery from 316 to 333 at this point. As you can see, the movement was 5% from that low point. The trend line is currently being tested. Wow, we'll see if this works. The daily pre-12, my time fundraising charge sell-off was, of course, there, by the way. That occurred because it has been occurring daily. Recently, we noticed that it began to run as soon as the pre-market opened at 11 o'clock. The price of Bitcoin actually surged all the way up to the 122,000 mark last night. Likewise, the pre-market sell-off was extremely near to the record high, providing a 10% deviation from the resistance level as well. 8.8 motions, nearly a 10 since it somewhat retreated. Ethereum has been strong over the past few days, but today it is a little bit weaker than it has been on prior days. It is still up 0.67% though, and in a moment we will discuss that. Now, even if XRP is up 4% today, we must exercise caution. Furthermore, I will never advise you to buy, sell, or hold. Not financial advice, of course. Before making an investment, always make your own conclusions. Indeed, XRP is up 4% at the moment, but tomorrow we will have CPI statistics. Additionally, we've observed in the past that there may occasionally be pump-ups or sell-offs at this event. Additionally, there may be a lot of modification and antics even after the data is released tomorrow morning. Another event that occurred was the opening of a nice juicy gap on the Bitcoin futures here. There is a weekend gap as well. Compared to a Thursday to Friday gap, it has a bit more juice. This gap is for the weekend, and at 117, the distance has completely closed. We are now at 122. The difference is 117. In the past, we've seen that it may even close on the day it occurs. Recall that there was a gap that closed last week. Thus, this remains a worry. We do have a space down here, and I'll circle it. Indeed, we have observed the gaps being filled, with the exception of the one at 92,000, which remains unfilled. I take it that Tuesday through Wednesday was an A. They haven't closed that. We must take into account the fact that even the difference at 78,000 was eventually narrowed. Thus, it might not be closed today. Perhaps this takes some time, and this is the exception outside of this gap, isn't it? Each and every other gap has been filled. Correct? Therefore, please simply keep it in mind. Indeed. Although XRP is now doing well, there may have been some shenanigans today, resistance levels, and other factors. Trump might say something. Therefore, we must constantly keep in mind that the market could change and that mischief could occur. So just keep an eye out for that. All right, we're nearing the end. Isn't that what everyone is saying? Isn't this the last stage? Each cycle concludes with a parabolic blow off top. This is the stage of mania, which includes euphoria, craziness, and life-altering behaviors. We may also be calculating the days that are approaching. I appreciate you watching, and as I always say, let's make a ton of money. I hope to see you again soon.